Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm an executive job search and leadership coach, as well as the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com, a site with curated information where I also answer questions from job hunters. And I wanted to speak with you today about the most successful career strategy that you can employ. Now, most job hunters, most professionals, most employees of companies join like sheepdogs. You come to work for a company, you kind of have that happy glow, you feel good about the new opportunity, you are dedicated and committed to the organization, you give your all. Here's one problem. I'm going to use an analogy from dating. What you've done is fall in love too soon. As a matter of fact, you've fallen in love, which really isn't the best approach to take with an employer because they're dispassionate. As much as your manager may say you're fabulous and you're wonderful, it's a placebo that corporations give out that costs them nothing and causes you to think good about yourself. The reality is, when times get tough, you're gone, or you're at risk of being gone, regardless of how wonderful a job you've done. This is true whether you're at staff levels, whether you're in leadership levels. The risk that you experience is enormous. I'll just simply say, you have to look at your career as a consultant would, because it's not like you're going to go to work when you're 20 and be allowed to stay there until retirement age. You know that already. The days of the gold watch are long gone. Doesn't matter if you're in private sector or in government. Government workers right now with the new president feel at risk because he has spoken ill of the amount of spending on government employees. Whether they're fighting back or not, they feel threatened, and thus they become at risk, that they feel at risk that their job will be safe. Private sector workers go through periods of that, cycles of that. And certainly in 2008 and in 2000 and 2001, private sector workers got really obliterated, eventually came back and started working again. The issue comes down to, if you were thinking of a career strategy, would you give your power away to someone who doesn't really care, who will look out for their interests if times get a little bit difficult? No, it makes no sense to do that. It's like being in a relationship. You've gone on one date and you suddenly say, I love you. And the other person goes, okay. Okay. I've got strong feelings for you too. And, they're not as committed as you are. They want to see that commitment as part of the hiring process. So you have to present it in a way that is believable, but interviewing is theater, and this is part of the theater that you have to use. You can't fall prey to their desire to get you emotionally engaged when they're going to come back and only hurt you later on. Instead, think as a consultant would. I've got a job to do. I'm going to do a great job. I want to get paid fairly for it. At the end of that great job, if you've got more work for me that I'm going to find interesting that you'll pay me well for, fabulous. I love that. If you want to give me promotion along the way, terrific. I'll make more money, super. But I've got to see work that's going to make sense for me and my objectives. It's like, as I've said in another video, being the chairman of the board of your own corporation. Your family, your wife, husband, partner, your kids are all the shareholders, but you're in charge. And in taking that kind of approach, you have a degree of objectivity about the treatment that you receive from your manager, your coworkers, from your employer. You start looking at the work that you're doing with objective eyes, as you should, because they may say, we've got this very important project, and you're going to be on it for the next 2 years, and it's really important to us. And, we know it's not real interesting, and your mind is going to turn to mush, but we need you to do it. And at the end of 2 years, you're at risk of being thrown out because they don't need you anymore. Often these kind of special projects aren't particularly marketable to the real world. Your career has been destroyed, all because you said yes to something you should never have said yes to. My advice is to think like a consultant. Be the chairman of your own business. Look at things with critical eyes and decide, does this make sense for me in my career? Period. Don't give away your heart. Don't give away your power. Don't give away your ability to say no, and just take on things that make no sense and put your career at risk. Hope you found this helpful. Again, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. If you're interested in executive job search coaching from me, reach out to me by email at jeffaltman@thebiggamehunter.us. And in the subject line, use the phrase coaching or the word coaching. I'll be back in touch, or it could be leadership coaching. That's what you're interested in. Have a great day. Take care.